Hey guys. So there has been a lot going on with immigration as usual. And today I want to discuss with you the Presidential Proclamation that came out just a couple days ago. All right. Thanks a lot for joining me, guys. Hey Shonda, hey Attorney Jefferson. Thanks for joining me. I'm going to be discussing the Presidential Proclamation that came out just a couple days ago. And I'm just wanting to do this quick video. I will post it at some point because I'm just kind of wrapping up lunch. So hope you guys are doing well. I'll go ahead and get started. So as you know, I think it was about 2 months ago in April, the president announced a suspension of immigration into the United States. Now that affected people who were outside of the United States and those people who were trying to get their green cards. Let me know if you guys can hear me well. I don't have my mic with me today, so just give me like a thumbs up so I know that you guys could hear me, because this is really important information. Thank you so much for the thumbs up. All right, so we're gonna go through the new proclamation that was just announced on June 22nd. All right, thank you for letting me know that you could hear me. Awesome. All right, so first of all, let's talk about why this new proclamation was made, right? So the president announced that, and we all know that coronavirus has done some damage to the US economy. The unemployment rate has nearly quadrupled. And so during May to February 2020, we saw these huge increases in unemployment. And so who does this proclamation affect? Right? We want to find out who this proclamation affects. Let's go through the list. Specifically, this proclamation will affect some people who are trying to get work visas. Let me just say this to put several people's mind at ease. This affects people who are outside of the United States. So if you are in the United States, this is not going to affect you. So first and foremost, it affects people who are outside of the United States. All right. So who does it actually affect? The proclamation affects those people who are trying to get an H-1B visa or H-2B visa, as well as their dependents to follow. So spouses, minor children who would be tagged on to H-1Bs, they would be affected by this proclamation. They also mentioned J visas, and the groups specifically that are affected are interns, trainees, teachers, camp counselors, au pairs are also included, and those who are coming to the United States for summer travel, as well as any other person who would be joining them. All right. The next category, L visas. So L visa holders or people who are trying to get L visas are also going to be affected. All right. So those are the people who it will affect. And again, I'll say it, for people who are inside of the United States, this does not pertain to you. I did have several clients asking about their cases within the United States. This proclamation does not pertain to people who are inside the United States. This is for people specifically who are outside of the United States. All right. So they go on to say that it will affect, as I said before, people outside of the United States, people who do not have a non-immigrant visa already issued to them on the effective date. So let me step back for a minute and just say this actually went into effect today. So today is the 24th. As of 12:01 a.m. this morning, this went into effect. So people who do not already have a non-immigrant visa, as of today, this will affect those people. If they don't have that visa, they don't have another travel document, this will affect you. Okay, so who does it not apply to? It does not apply to lawful permanent residents. So if you're on LPR and you happen to be outside of the United States, it's not going to apply to you. It does not apply to, it says, any alien who is the spouse or child of a U.S. citizen. So if you are a spouse or a child of a U.S. citizen, this does not apply to you. All right, so any alien seeking entry to the United States to provide temporary labor services that are essential, so essential services to the United States based on the supply chain, then this would not affect you either. And then finally, those aliens, those people who are allowed into the United States based on national interest as determined by the Secretary of State. So those are the exceptions. If you are an LPR, does not apply to you. If you are the spouse or the child of a U.S. citizen, does not apply to you. If you are seeking temporary entry into the United States to provide some sort of service that is in line with our food chain, this does not apply to you. And then if you are someone coming to the United States and it's found that your entry into the United States is in national interest of the United States, does not apply to you. Okay, so next question. How would it be determined who is actually exempt? Who falls into this exempt? Well, when you go to the consulate, because this obviously affects people who are going into the consulate offices, when you go into the consulate officer who is doing your interview, they will be the person who actually decides whether or not you fall into one of those exceptions, okay? And we'll just go over a couple more exceptions that they included. It says people who are critical to or seen as critical to the defense, law enforcement, diplomacy, national security of the United States, those are also exemptions. Those who are involved in providing critical care as far as COVID-19, so medical professionals, nurses, there are also carved out exceptions for those medical providers. So keep that in mind. And this does not stop asylum seekers. Someone had asked me after the last proclamation whether it affects asylum seekers. This does not stop asylum seekers or refugees from still applying. You know, other things might stop them, but that's another video in and of itself. And then it also says that any alien who circumvents the application of this proclamation through fraud or willful misrepresentation. So there is a clause saying that if you somehow try to get around this proclamation by fraud or misrepresentation, that you will be a priority for removal. So it's expected that you probably will be in expedited removal. Okay. Let me see what else here I want to go through with you guys. I'm just trying to hit the most important points with you. Okay, so how long? Very important. How long is this going to be in effect for? This is actually going to be in effect till the end of the year. It says this proclamation shall expire on December 31st, 2020. And may be continued as necessary. So not only is it going to be in force over the rest of the year, but it may also be continued as necessary. So they're leaving the door open to actually be able to continue this proclamation. It says within 30 days of the effective date of this proclamation, and we know the effective date is today, and 60 days thereafter, while this proclamation is in effect, the Secretary of Homeland Security shall, in consultation with the Secretary of State and the Secretary of Labor, recommend modifications as necessary. So they left the door really wide open to make changes as necessary, to add more things to this proclamation, and we're going to see that it's going to stay in effect till the end of the year. Another thing that I wanted to mention to you guys is that this proclamation actually mentions that the prior proclamation, the one that was set forth back in April, is actually also going to be extended till the end of the year. So that proclamation that affected people who were coming as permanent residents will also be extended till the end of the year. And the why behind all of this, again, the reason why the president gives as far as needing to have this in place is because of the coronavirus and the impact of the coronavirus on the US economy and on the unemployment rate. So those are the big picture ideas behind this proclamation, guys. We have to wait and really see, what's going to happen. We know that the embassies are still closed. We know they've been closed for the past several months. So, this doesn't necessarily put, a huge dent on that. But the H1B sector is huge. That's a huge sector of people coming to the United States based on work permits and then J's and L's, so that's gonna be really impactful, and we have to wait and see exactly how it's gonna play out for the rest of the year and into 2021. So guys, this is an election year. I don't want to add other things to this video because we're specifically talking about proclamations. But again, I'm a huge advocate of becoming a citizen. If you have the ability to become a citizen, please go ahead and start that process as soon as you can. And if you need a good immigration attorney, certainly look us up. We're happy to help. And that's going to be it for today. So thank you guys for watching this short video, and I will see you next time. Take care and be safe.